Over the past weekend, one of the biggest Bitcoin conferences in Nashville wrapped up, and it did not disappoint. There were some huge pieces of news to come out of this. Start things off, some of the speakers were former President Donald Trump, Michael Saylor, who's the CEO of MicroStrategy and known Bitcoin bull. In addition, Senator Cynthia Lummis out of Wyoming came with some very interesting ideas. To start things off, Donald Trump took the stage, and first thing he says is that he wants to fire the head of the SEC, Gary Gensler, and the crowd absolutely erupted. As we all know, Gary's blocked some growth within the cryptocurrency industry and adoption for the United States, and a lot of people within the crypto world are not happy with that. They're not favorable with that, and it seemed to take Trump by surprise a little bit as well, because the crowd reacted in such a positive manic matter that he says, again, in day one, we are going to fire Gary Gensler, and the place went absolutely wild. But that was not the most bullish thing Trump said, believe it or not. To start things off, he said that never to sell your Bitcoin, and went on to elaborate how Bitcoin is a strong asset class, how he has plans for a strategic reserve, how he wants to make the United States the head of Bitcoin mining. Just really bullish things coming out of his mouth. He even said stablecoins will increase the US dollar dominance and praised them overall. Talked about ending Operation Choke Point, which is essentially the war on crypto. And he talked about possibly freeing Ross Ulbricht, who is the founder of Silk Road, who's been in prison for years. And a lot of people within the cryptocurrency industry believe he served his time and should be released. And he offered up a new strategic stockpile where the United States holds between 210 to 230,000 Bitcoin. And as we know, over the years, they have been selling that portion of Bitcoin. But Trump said if he's elected into office, not only are they not going to be selling, but they could be looking to add to those reserves. It's tough to imagine after those bullish comments by Trump that someone could actually one-up him, and that was Senator Lummis, if you ask me. And she proposed the United States to buy 1 million Bitcoin to reduce the national debt and to have a strategic Bitcoin reserve. And she even brought to the conference the Bitcoin Reserve Bill, and we're reading clips out of that. Details about that, she wants to buy 1 million Bitcoin over a set period of time. After I dug through the bill a little bit, that was actually over about 5 years. And napkin math, that's between 400 to 500 Bitcoin per day over the next 5 years. When you're only mining about 450, 500 Bitcoin per day, that is extreme price crunch, or supply crunch, I should say, for Bitcoin overall. She also talked about establishing a network of Bitcoin vaults and affirm self-custody rights. There's been a lot of talk about self-custody and taking your coins off of a centralized exchange like Coinbase and getting it into your own self-custody. So this is extremely big stuff, big news overall. Senator Lummis actually has a bill in hand mapping out how the United States could buy 1 million Bitcoin. This is huge times to be within the cryptocurrency industry, learning about Web3. And if you want to learn more about crypto, Web3, NFTs, there's a link right down below. It's only $1 to get started. And we're talking about all this sort of strategic investment advice every single week. If you think I'm bullish on Bitcoin and crypto, and you could be bullish on Bitcoin and crypto in the world of Web3, well, we're not even close to how bullish Michael Saylor is. He took the stage as well and popped up this slide, as you can see, where his base case in 21 years from now is $13 million per Bitcoin. He did give a pretty strategic outlook how we would get to these numbers, but just taking a quick look at this slide, in 2045, 21 years from now, his bear case is $3 million per Bitcoin. And his base case is 13 million, in his bull case 49 million per Bitcoin. Taking a look at the base case, 13 million per Bitcoin, 7% of about total assets, and a $280 trillion market cap. Honestly, those numbers just seem outrageous to me, but there's definitely a path how we could get there. He talked about it more in depth, and really, Michael Saylor hasn't been wrong up to this point. He's absolutely been diving deep into Bitcoin for years now, doubling down on dips, and seems to be making a lot of the right moves in the cryptocurrency world. But what we know for sure, Michael Saylor is one of the most bullish Bitcoin bulls around. Along with Michael Saylor, there were some huge CEOs and major corporations in attendance for the meeting in Nashville, and they had some very bullish comments to say as well. A lot of them disclosed that they held Bitcoin personally and they're inquiring and looking into adding Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies to their current company's balance sheet. And that's huge news. When you have major corporations and countries starting to add Bitcoin to their balance sheets because they see it as a strategic asset, like you and I both do, it's going to cause a supply crunch. The price is going to absolutely skyrocket, and it is going to move fast. So it's a great time to be just learning as much as you can about this industry, learning about Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, Web3, NFTs, because we are approaching a very hard and fast bull run. I love to hear about other CEOs and corporations looking to build out their balance sheet by adding Bitcoin to it. It's a no-brainer in my mind, but this is some very bullish news coming out of the conference. Last but not least, but we have one of the premier NFT projects, blue chip project found on the Ethereum blockchain, Doodles, that is making some big news out there. And Doodles Records is launching their very first project. Scanning through this article a little bit, they will be launching their debut project called Dollsville in Doodlesverse, featuring top artists like Lil Wayne, and all the music's going to be produced by Pharrell. It's going to be 3 original records featuring artists such as Coi Leray and Lil Yachty, cinematic music videos to accompany these records, an animation experience. And Doodles is known for their animations, so personally as a Doodles holder, I'm pretty excited to see how those animations turn out. And exclusive streaming, so there's going to be exclusive streaming for all these tracks and videos to Doodles TV before it's going to be released to a wider audience. So there's going to be benefits here by holding certain NFTs by Doodles to access Doodles TV. In addition, there's actually a Super Pass sale going on sale today for Doodles to get exclusive access to see these videos, see these animations. But this is just big news overall, and this is why we're talking about this today. There's some major NFT companies, the Pudgy Penguins of the world, the Doodles of the world, that are absolutely leveraging their teams, their IP, to build out something bigger than just an NFT community, but it's going to enrich and help these NFT communities grow and give added benefits and perks to those holders of the NFTs. We've seen a nice price surge in Doodles over the past few weeks because we knew this was coming out. In addition to that, any holders also get access to Doodles TV in this exclusive streaming right. Personally, like I said, I'm a Doodles holder. I'm very excited to see what else comes to fruition, but this is the first step to really build out a major media marketing company through NFTs, through an NFT community. If you'd like to learn more about this information, we're talking about all things NFT and crypto and Web3 related every single week. Like I said earlier, the link is right down below. It's $1 to get started. We'd absolutely love to have you join our community.